What's up, everybody? Mike here. Today's video is about energy drinks. They're killing America. My son got kidney failure from all this stuff. Do not touch them. Danger, danger. Let's have cooler heads like mine prevail and take a look as to what's really going on. Okay. So first of all, let's start with the granddaddy of them all, the Red Bull. It's actually a Thai drink that Dietmar Mateschitz, an Austrian guy, stole on one of his trips there, and then he improved the taste. Some might say he did not, and built a multi-billion-dollar imperium around it. You know, it's the first guy to invest into snowboarding, Formula One, soccer teams, you name it, right? So a huge commercial success. Congrats. But what is in the thing? Like what are we actually consuming, right? And pretty much with any type of energy drink, whatever you're purchasing, there are three components you're getting. Some sort of caffeine, either straight up or from guarana or whatever they call it. Some sort of sugar, even though it might say zero sugar. And then B vitamins, namely B3, niacin for some tingling. So those are the three things that the consumer will feel. He feels energized from the sugar and the caffeine, and henceforth feels like he got his money's worth. Does he really? No, but we got through that. So here you're looking at 30 grams of sugar. That's quite a good heap. Then 80 milligrams of caffeine, which is about, shall we say, a weak cup of coffee. And then you have niacin, which is, we have ever taken niacin tablets, vitamin B3 gives that tingling under the skin, is not a pre-workout. And then you have vitamin B12 that doesn't do any harm, as well as vitamin B6, right? So that's pretty plain. There's nothing dangerous in there. Then there's taurine, which for some reason always freaks people out. There's, that's taurine, that's dangerous. And it's like, well, first of all, the human, you contain taurine, which is an amino acid. Without it, you wouldn't be here. So taurine as an amino acid is, animal product and so on and so forth. But basically, the theory behind this, and I do believe it's actually just a play with words because Red Bull, Taurus, taurine, get it? If taken by itself in high dosages, can have somewhat of a pain-killing effect on the human body. But for that, with any amino acid, you can only take it by itself, right? Otherwise, it doesn't go through the blood-brain barrier. So, for instance, when people say, oh, I had milk and honey or turkey and the tryptophan make me sleepy, that's nonsense because you would have to take the tryptophan 2 hours away from eating and then it would work as a sleeping aid. But if you just consume all the amino acids, they all go through the blood-brain barrier or none of them does, and there's no special effect, in other words, okay? So is this dangerous? Well, the dosage, right? So if somebody was to go toward the 1 gram, 1,000 milligram mark of caffeine, that would probably be a case for severe stomach upset, blood pressure issues, hospitalization eventually. You would have to drink about 13 of those, at which point I really can't help you. So Red Bull, you're basically buying very overpriced, amped up Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola doesn't have the B vitamins, but the sugar and the caffeine. So do as you like. Another popular one is Celsius. The advertisement is it burns calories. It's the only negative calorie drink, which is sort of true in the sense that the caffeine will make you move more, right? And since this is not containing any sugars, any calories in that regard, you're taking in 0 calories or so, you think, and you move more, henceforth there's that, right? Other than that, you have the same litany of vitamin Bs, the 3, the 5, 6, vitamin B6, which is good for blood sugar regulation, all that sort of thing. B12, which usually does more if it's injected, but it's not harmful. And then there's taurine. The caffeine mix is a mix from guarana and just green tea extract and straight up caffeine. Guarana seems to be a bit milder in the onset. It's not so amping you up as much as straight up caffeine, but there's no huge difference. It comes to about 200 milligrams of caffeine. Again, you would have to drink 5 of those in a short period of time to have very negative side effects, at which point, again, I can't really help you. Is it dangerous by itself from the ingredients? No, you can't really overdose on B vitamins. You just pee them out no matter how many you take. So have at it, right? Then I found this beauty, the Monster energy drink, right? And that is actually a whole lot of nothing. So they play with words, as the carbohydrates, they call it glycosamic carbohydrates, which is another word for sugar. And then it has 150 milligrams of caffeine, from what I see here. And then they throw in some L-carnitine, which is a fat burner, but the dosage here is listed amongst the caffeines. We're looking at maybe at the very best 200 milligrams of L-carnitine, where you would need 2 on a continuous daily basis. You would have to drink 10 of those for days and days on end to get that fat burning effect, at which point the carbohydrate consumption from the can would offset in fat loss. So again, the caffeine content is about 150 milligrams, which is not nothing, but again, you would have to drink 6 of those for it to be dangerous, which sane people wouldn't do. So anyway, moving. So the monster is also not what's killing America, even though it's called the monster. Then I found this beauty. That's interesting. The bucked up, right? So the first thing is that really delivers a punch with 300 milligrams of caffeine. So that's interesting. And then it has listed the vitamin B6 and B12 as before. It doesn't seem to have niacin, what I can see here, but it lists a lot of ingredients in the very, very small print here, which are interesting, and I can see how they would induce buying. So there is tyrosine and theanine, which is 2 amino acids, which in conjunction with caffeine, tyrosine is basically helping with the alertness even more. Theanine takes out the jitters. But here's the big but. It needs to be taken by itself in a much higher dosage. So you would need, shall we say, at least 600-700 milligrams of theanine, same with tyrosine. And then we can assume these people, they want to make money off the cans. They're not going to put that kind of amount in there. So again, the amount is microscopic. And that's that. Then they also list theacrine, which is actually a very interesting substance by itself. So it's similar to caffeine, smoother onset, doesn't make you so hyped, doesn't make you so jittery, but it's also costly. So an effective dose, even if you buy a bulk powder, would run you about $1.50 per dose, right? Now, this costs, I believe, $2.50 or something, and we can assume that people want to make a profit. They're not putting $1.50 worth of value here just from one component, right? So again, I'm sure there is some theacrine in there, but it's very little, right? And then the same goes for alpha GPC, which has some scant research of improving your memory, but again, the cost would be too high, so that's not that, right? So none of these things taken by itself will cause any type of kidney failure or something as horrendous, it's been happening to people. You also have to see a lot of the cases that are reported where people had, severe health issues were in clubs, right? So you think dehydration, a lot of other drugs, and you don't know the whole medical history. But even if somebody completely brain dead would go ahead and drink, like on a bet, 5 of those, that guy would be puking quite a bit, and he would probably need to go to the hospital to bring the blood pressure down, but he would not develop kidney failure, and he would not just pass, right? So that's always in conjunction with who knows what else did people have taken. Now, should you take energy drinks? Like I said, you can, but if you want to be cost efficient and health efficient, I would recommend you go wholesale. You buy theanine, niacin, and caffeine by themselves. You dose accordingly. You know what you're getting. You're getting a lot more for the money. You don't get the cool gummy bear taste that this has. That's one thing. But you're going to be much safer in terms of your dosing, and you know what you're getting. So that's my take on energy drinks. My God.